Hi friend, my name is Jamie and I am so glad that you're here. Today I just wanted to share a little bit of my story with you guys, not because I have it all figured out, because I know what it feels like to wonder if God sees you, if he hears you, and if he's gonna stay. So I just wanted to take us back to the beginning. When I was a kid, I was taken out of my biological mother and father's house along with my siblings, and we were placed into foster care. And then from foster care, we were adopted to the family that I belong to now. Growing up, I went to church. I fell in love with the Lord when I was 7 years old at a church camp. I just remember feeling his presence so tangibly, even at a young age, that it completely changed the whole course of my life. From that children's camp, giving my life to the Lord and just being on fire for him. It's funny because I always like to think that he marked me as a young child. And what I mean by that is I just feel that even though my circumstance when I was really young wasn't ideal, it left me with a lot of trauma, with a lot of hurt, and just brokenness that I'm dealing with today. I remember going around and speaking about the gospel. Where did I learn that from? I'm not even sure. I don't even know where I heard about Jesus, but I'm so grateful that he marked my life and that I'm forever changed. I was not very popular. I was not the cool girl. In any grade, elementary, middle school, high school, I just remember feeling like I was just left out, like I was just different, like I didn't fit in. As a young girl, that was really challenging, and it almost made my heart kind of harden a bit, just in the sense of people disappointing me, just facing hurt from others around me, and then allowing that to kind of harden my heart was a big struggle for me. For a long time, I thought I actually had to earn love, thought I had to be perfect, perform a certain way, or else God would be disappointed in me. As I share my testimony in this video, there were definitely seasons and times where I drifted from the Lord, and it was due to that performance of feeling like I can never measure up to this standard that I was placing on myself, whether that was church hurt or whether that was what I thought God wanted from me. And really it was just a standard I placed on myself. Growing up, I felt like if I didn't perform well, that the people around me wouldn't love me. So for a long time, I just remember just fighting with the idea of disappointment, that I couldn't trust others around me, that they constantly let me down, they were constantly disappointing me, so therefore I was the only person that I could trust. And that did go back to my childhood and just carrying that through my whole life all the way up until now. This idea that I was fighting to have control over my own life instead of just giving it to the Lord. So going into high school, I remember there was a radical shift in the way that I not only perceived myself, but how I perceived others. I just remember struggling a lot in high school, struggling to find my place, struggling to find my friend group and what did that look like, where did I fit in. And there were a lot of times where I was just by myself, whether that was in classrooms, whether that was eating lunch by myself. I just remember feeling very isolated and very lonely. And looking back on that now, I understand that the Lord was setting me apart because there was always this hole in my heart that no matter how far I drifted from the Lord, he was calling me back. The hurt that I experienced, the trauma that I experienced, nothing was going to make that pain go away besides giving it to the Lord and allowing him to heal me and work out the pain that was inside my heart. So flash forward to college, this was like the first time in a while that I actually had full independence, meaning that I wasn't living at home, that I didn't have any of my family around me. It was just me kind of trying to figure it out, find that friend group, find where I fit in. And I really struggled with, I would consider it to be severe anxiety and severe depression. And I didn't tell anyone, nobody knew, but it was like I struggled to even get up to go to classes. I remember staying up all night because I couldn't sleep, and then sleeping all day because I was exhausted. It was just this cycle that I couldn't get myself out of. I was falling into the wrong friend groups. I was not reading my Bible. I was partying. I was drinking. I was just really lost. And once again, it was the brokenness and the trauma from my childhood catching up to me. Nobody chooses to be hurt, okay? But whether you face that hurt or that trauma or that brokenness or not, it will catch up to you. Time is not going to heal it if you don't allow the Lord to help you. I was walking around with crippling fear, crippling anxiety, crippling depression, hanging out with people I thought that cared about me, but they didn't know me at all. And I was just pretending to be somebody that I wasn't. I should also mention that throughout my childhood and up until now, I struggled with lust, and I struggled with the idea of how others perceived me, how they viewed me. It almost became like an addiction to me. I needed to control the way that others viewed me and how they perceived me, even though it wasn't possible. I was just constantly juggling all of these different things, and when you don't have someone that you can turn to for guidance that truly cares about you and is truly seeking the better for you, then getting better can seem impossible. During this time, I started talking to a couple of guys. The intentions around these people that I was engaging with and talking to wasn't productive, and it wasn't healthy. I had a very skewed mindset of what a relationship looked like, even friendships looked like. I remember that my friendships with other men were very skewed. They were not healthy, and they weren't friendships. Honestly, I could say, looking back on it now, I recognize that I had self-esteem issues, and I was trying to fill a hole of feeling wanted and loved and sought after, but I was going about it the wrong way. I was receiving attention, but it wasn't because of the person that I was, it was because of what I had to offer. I really struggled with that for a long time, and it's just kind of like one of those things that even now the Lord is walking with me through. That is breaking off the idea that I have to perform for people, that I have to offer them something other than who I am. Because of those relationships and the people that I talk to, and just for me not being in a healthy mindset, I was very damaged. I was very hurt. I ended up being even more hurt from these people and these relationships and the words that were spoken over me, and I carried that with me for a long time. There was one specific event where like a light went off in my head, where I never struggled with the way that I looked. I didn't feel as though there was anything wrong with me until one conversation. I had said something silly about the way that I looked, not really thinking anything of it, and this other person had just kind of dug into me that, you know, maybe the way that I looked needed to be improved, or the way that I looked wasn't good enough. And from that moment, my eyes were opened in a negative way. I was like so shocked to the core, and it sounds ridiculous. I think when you're so focused on the love of Jesus and seeking after him, you're less concerned about the way that you look and the way that others view you. So because of that, and also just along with the idea that I didn't think that anyone viewed me other than like a sister, it was very shocking and surprising to me that my body wasn't good enough, or that what I had to offer wasn't good enough. I don't think I've ever experienced something so painful, to talk with a person and to feel as though you know them on a deeper level, and then for that person to just hurt you so deeply with words that have the intention to hurt you. It's very hard to walk through alone. I just fell off the wagon, to be honest. After college, I remember that my anxiety and depression got so bad I couldn't go to class anymore. And because I couldn't go to class anymore, I had to drop them, and then I had to withdraw. On top of dealing with the anxiety and depression, I now had to deal with this idea that I was a failure. My life was not worthy. My life was not important. I had to deal with the idea that I was behind, that my timeline didn't look like other people's timelines, and therefore it was not good enough, or it was not of value. So I just remember kind of just going in a spiral, And yet again, on top of this, talking to people that weren't healthy for me, that did not have good intentions, that weren't encouraging to me and uplifting. And really, they were really damaging, not only to my mental health, but really damaging to my spiritual health as well. Every day just kind of growing further and further and further away from the Lord. There was one specific day I remember I just could not pretend anymore. I couldn't pretend that I was living life greatly. I couldn't pretend that I had it all together, that somehow in public I had this great life, but in private I was dealing with extreme anxiety, extreme depression, and also just suicidal thoughts. I remember it got so bad that I just didn't want to be alive anymore. I just remember being tired. I was really empty. I was just done trying to be strong. And it was in that quiet, broken place. Jesus didn't lecture me. He didn't shame me. He just sat with me. I remember whispering, God, if you're real, I can't do this without you. And somehow, it wasn't this crazy, life-altering lightning moment that I felt. I knew he was right there. Not because I had performed well enough, but because he loved me first. Since that day, my life has not been perfect. I still get really tired. I still struggle with performance, feeling like I'm enough, fighting against the urge to prove myself to anybody else but the Lord. But the difference is now I walk with someone who carries me when I can't carry myself. I know now that love isn't something that I have to earn. It's someone who already came looking for me before I even knew I was lost. If you're watching this today and you feel like you're too messy, too far gone, not good enough, if you feel that you have to clean yourself up before you go to the Lord, please hear me. You are exactly the one Jesus came for. You don't have to fix yourself, just have to let him sit with you like he sat with me. You are not forgotten. You are not too much. You are deeply and wildly loved. Thank you for being here today. I am so grateful to walk this journey with you. If you ever want to share your story or you just need someone to pray with you, my DMs are always open, or you can always comment down below. If you're struggling and you don't have anyone to talk to or share with, I can be the person that stands in the gap for you. Until next time, stay close to Jesus, friend.